Hey artists, today off of the supply table you're going to get one sheet of white paper, you're going to need one messy paper, and one paintbrush, and everything else that you need should be at your table. I'm going to start off by putting my name on the back, Mr. Calvert, and I'm going to flip it over. And I'm going to use a few of the crayons at my table, and I'm going to draw probably 3 or 4 different lines. So we've talked about lines before, so maybe I'm going to draw a zigzag line. And my zigzag is going to go from one edge of my paper all the way across to the other. And I'm pressing kind of hard too so it shows up. Maybe I'll do a curvy line this time. Maybe I'll do, there's another color. Maybe I'll do, I like to call this one Bowser's Castle. Kind of looks like the top of a castle. I'm going to do one more. Find a good color that I want to use. And maybe I'll do a, maybe I'll just do kind of a squiggly line. Squiggly line's probably going to be kind of hard to cut out, so don't draw it if it's going to be too hard for you. Okay, so I've got 4 lines drawn. You can probably do 3 or 4. After I've done that, I'm going to take my crayons, I'm going to add some patterns in between each one of these. So think about patterns using lines, think about patterns using shapes, think about patterns using colors. So I'm going to do a green square that is pink inside. And then I'm going to do, I'll do some of these kind of lines coming off of it, or in between it. And I think I'll do, kind of looks like a flower. So there's one pattern. I gotta do a pattern in each one of these sections. So I still have 1, 2, 3, 4 more sections to go. So once again, think about lines, think about shapes, think about colors. Lots of things that you can add to these. Alright, after you have your lines drawn, so remember I did 1, I did 2, I did 3, I did 4. Then you're going to come in and you're going to add a pattern in between each one of those. The last thing I'm going to do today is we are going to paint using our temper cakes, okay, which are right here. Remember to use these, we need to get our brush nice and wet. So I'm getting my brush wet right now, even though you can't see it. And then I'm going to gently wipe my brush on the paints. So I got some orange on there, and I'm going to paint this section up here. So I'm just going to paint each section a different color. If you run out of paint, get some more. Use the toes of your brush. Remember, it's like a ballerina. Needs to dance. Goes back and forth. Not scrubbing our paper. Alright, so there's one section. Going to move on to the next section. Maybe I'll do blue this time. Carefully paint that. Notice how a lot of times I outline my shape first too before painting the inside of it. And because we used crayons and now we are using a paint that uses water, it's going to do something called a wax resist. So wax, which is what our crayons are made out of, and water do not like each other. So I can actually paint right over the top of my crayon as long as I did a nice job pressing down hard. Okay, and that's going to make it so my crayon shows up through that paint. So I've got half, or almost half of my painting done. I'm going to do some green this time. Where I said, outline your shape first. All right, and last one. I did forget to mention, I don't want you to use white or black when you're painting. White because it won't really show up because our paper's already white, and black because when we go to cut these out next class, we are actually going to glue these down to a black sheet of paper. So there's no sense in painting your parts of your painting black because it's going to go on a black paper, and then that section wouldn't really show up as well as we would like it to. Alright, when you get this far, you drew your lines, you added your patterns, and you have painted that entire paper. So when you go to paint, remember, you should only use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe 5 colors, maybe 4 colors, just depending on how many stripes you added. But I'm not using more than one color in each section when I'm painting. Okay, so this section I did all orange, all blue, all green, all pink or purple, and all red. Alright, when you're done, this can go on the drying rack. Make sure to clean up after yourself.